Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. It's about 10:30. Today is Sunday. Let's take a quick look at this. It is Sunday, looks like the 22nd. There you go. I don't know how well you guys could see it. It says it's 51 degrees down. Look at that, you guys could see it, right? 51 degrees down here. I obviously got to put new batteries in this thing. So, what am I going to show you guys today? Coming back down here to the basement is kind of interesting for me because over the last couple of years, well, actually over the last several years, I've just not really spent much time down here. Stuff kind of got down here and then kind of got buried and then kind of got ignored. So yeah, it takes me a long time to get anywhere, and spending a little time down here, seeing as I can't get to the garage and do much of anything, is allowing me to discover some of my lost toys. And some of these things have been a lot of fun, and not only for me but for my my family. Let me show you a couple of examples. I kind of showed this Honda CT70. This came from a flea market in Marshall's Creek, Pennsylvania. And my sons were young. I mean, I probably bought this thing, 15 years ago. I think my son Joe was around 12. And I got it at the flea market. I bought it the first day. Actually, we had not even we were on our way to a resort, and we hadn't even gotten to the resort yet. We bought it at the flea market. And it didn't run. So I got it, and I got a few tools to rebuild the carburetor, and we brought it back to the resort, and the people at the resort were cool. So I actually brought it up to the room, and I was keeping it on there was a deck, and that overlooked this lake, and I actually had it on the deck because I didn't want anybody to steal it. So we had it there, and my son and I rebuilt the carburetor out on that deck, and we started it out on the deck, and then there was like this front walkway that was outside, and what you did is you walked along that walkway till you got to your room, and we were up on the second floor. So after we got it running, he and I were driving back and forth along the walkway with it, and then we carried it down the stairs, and we were running it around the parking lot and all. So he was a adolescent. So just picture that. I guess he was 12, and so picture it. He's this kid with access to this Honda 70, this 12, 13-year-old, whatever he was at the time. He might have just turned 13. And he meets this girl called Ingrid. So this little red-headed girl. And I mean, he's the big bad character from New York with this motorcycle, and they spent a lot of time, riding it around together. She on the back, on these foot pegs, and him riding it about. It was just so much fun. The family really enjoyed this bike. Yeah, there's one of the foot pegs. Oh, there she is. There's the second foot peg. So that's the story of this bike. So the next year we brought this bike, and I brought this one along too. So we had both of these at the resort. So he and I, you know, at this point we were going everywhere. He was riding that one, I was riding this one, and we were going through the woods and all. So, story on this one, Pennsylvania. I think I paid $150 for it back then. And I even have some of the title paperwork. So, there she is. This one here was another $150 model. It's a 50, a Z50. A friend of mine, Dan, had it at a flea market, and I bought it from him. And, you know, I think it was running at the time, and I think I gave him $150 for it. So I got it home. That was a long time ago. That was back in the days when the Maybrook flea market was still alive. That place closed in '91, just to give you an idea of how long ago that was. I'm not sure what year they are. I'm thinking this one's a 73. I can't quite get to the decals on either of them without breaking something important, so I'm not going to twist and bend to do that. Every time I see Dan, right, what is this? This is 20 years later, 23 years later. He's always asking me about it. You want to sell it? I'll give you twice. I'll give you 300 for it. And obviously I'm not gonna part with it. So these two bikes at the resort, they were a blast. My son and I were riding around the back. They had this spot where they used to bring the garbage. They used to burn back then, so they used to bring the stuff to burn. And he and I were back there flying about, and he went through this muddy area, and no problem, he just flew through it. I went through the muddy area on this guy and got sideways and crashed. He thought that was great. You know, I drive better than you do, Dad. So anyway, the bike stories. As I'm also here, and I can't climb up to show you guys, but just a couple of the other bikes. When I was a kid growing up, that's what the 50 looked like. I mean, it didn't have a round tail light, but that's what it looked like. It was more in Japan. They used to call it the Gorilla. That's an SL Street Legal 70 and SL 70, another couple. And if you guys could see all the way in the back there, and once again I wish I could climb and show you guys. I'm sorry I can't. That's an old QA 50. So this is just a few bikes in the horde here. There's another red one. Oops, let me bring the mag down. There's another red one up there. And then there's more to the horde down here. Once again, I'm sorry I can't show you these things a little better. I just can't get in there at the moment. These things have been down here. These two guys have been out since I bought the house, but these things have been down here forever. What's strange is there's a Suzuki missing. There's a little Suzuki that also, I thought it was right here. Strange. I'm gonna have to look for it. Yeah, I have one of those little Suzuki 50cc two-stroke guys. Trail Hopper, I think it was called. I thought it was right here with these two. I wonder where it moved off to. I'm gonna have to rediscover that wherever it's hiding. And then we could shoot a photo of that. The Suzuki, they weren't too common. That was a deal where I traded a bunch of motors and crap that I had picked up for. And the story for the all these bikes have a story, right? The story for that is when I was a kid. It's not the same bike from when I was a kid, but I bought it because I rode one when I was a kid. We had a half a day at school and a track meet after school. So we went to this kid's house, and his parents weren't home, so some of the clowns were upstairs drinking. But he had this little Suzuki Trail Hopper in the basement, and we were down riding it around his basement. I remember there was a pole in the center of the basement. We were riding it around. You know, stupid kids. We ended up smoking up the house. Luckily, we didn't kill ourselves with carbon monoxide poisoning. For you young folks, try not to do this stuff at home. It's not the smartest thing. Anyway, I really wish I remember what I did with that trail hopper. If I get back in there, I'm going to get killed, and then I'm going to get in trouble with the wife. Alright, folks, I've been babbling for about 10 minutes. I've told you all my funny stories about my bikes here. Once again, I wish I could show them to you a little better. I just can't get in there at the moment. Health is getting better, though. I'm coming along. The last pain medicine I took was last night before bed, so that is coming along very well, because here it is more than 12 hours later, and I'm not in any outstanding pain. One of the things he has me on for inflammation, and inflammation is what causes most of my pain. He has me on Celebrex. And I had been taking Celebrex in the morning, and what I'm doing is I'm deliberately moving that Celebrex to later at night, because I figure if I can get rid of the inflammation at night, I'll sleep better, and I won't quite need as much pain medicine. And the sooner I could get rid of the pain medicine, the sooner I could get back to doing the things I like to do. Because one can't drive while they take oxycodone. Alright, folks, live, love, and have a great time. Y'all, remember to keep the tires down, the handlebars up. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. And once again, for folks that might be checking out for a little while, maybe going on a nice vacation or whatever, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks to Mechanic Man for the Christmas card. That was really nice. It was a nice surprise. Thanks to all you guys for watching, subscribing, and commenting. Thanks for all the good wishes, and thanks for being loyal subscribers. Y'all take care now. Bye.